And that is my biggest blessing. I can tell you that right now, that when I'm on my deathbed, the only thing that's going to make me sad is not to spend more time with them. That's it, period.
Did you do enough, right? It's always going to be the question for the guys at standards that always are raising more and more and more. Did I do enough? Did I provide enough? Did I give them enough wisdom? Did God's wisdom come through me and not only come through me, but did I relay that? Basically what we just said in the stuff is we're giving this information to help people get better. And I know we're going to concentrate on your family portion of that right now.
Yeah.
But I think that's always a burning question. Did I do enough? In the times that I effed up, did I do enough to recover? And he's tried to not only mend it, but make it better. So that's a tough road, you know? All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. It's going to be a different introduction today because we are on episode number 124 today. And if this is your first time here, go check out the other 123 episodes. But if this is your first time here, this is Old Guys Still Rock. I'm Blair Armstrong of Team Armstrong Coldwell Banker. You can kind of see that behind me. On my left is a good friend and the other host of this show, Brent Wright of Brent Wright Incorporated. I'm going to get in that to a little bit. But first and foremost, if you have watched at least 5 or 6 or 7 episodes, or maybe even more, why in the hell have you not shared the show yet? We don't have any sponsors. We don't have any advertisers. You get to watch this commercial free for the most part. YouTube might throw some stuff in there, but we get a ton of comments from you. We totally appreciate that. Do not get me wrong, but we need you to share the show. That's the only way that this message is going to get out there. That's the only way that we get more views, so on and so forth. We're not asking to get paid for it. We're putting our own money into it. We're taking them to put our own time into it. But I'm going to start right off the bat. You've got to share the freaking show. We know you love it. So why are you not sharing good information? This is not meant to be kept to yourself. This is not silo mentality. This is spread the word. I mean, if you're sharing stuff on the Kardashians or share the Epstein list, why in the hell are you not sharing this? That's my pedestal, man. So again, if this is your first time here, we're Old Guys Still Rock. We're probably one of the best podcasts you've never seen before. If this is your first time here, again, who am I? I am a global luxury specialist in the world of residential real estate out here in beautiful Coachella Valley, which is basically Palm Springs, Palm Desert, La Quinta, Rancho Mirage. You probably have heard something like that. And then Brent Wright Incorporated, a man with many hats over the course of 30 years that I've known him and has maintained them and even grown them. Some of his highlights, body shop, detail shops, payroll companies, multiple property owner to landlord, just such a new venture that he has with the 3 other guys is a venture capitalist deal, bustedtees.com. If you haven't been there yet as well, I'd get your butt over there right now. Check out the great novelty t-shirts they have. I don't get paid for that ad, but sooner or later I'm going to get a free t-shirt from it.
We got some cool stuff like buy 3, get one, buy 3, get one free, buy 2, get one free on the hats, you know?
Yeah. Some just great novelty shipping. Wear. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, just a great novelty wear. And that seems like we kind of be that going trend right now is have novelty t-shirts. What's going to kind of push the envelope of what's too much, what's not enough. So if you're that guy or you're that girl, definitely go on there. Just some really cool stuff. So anyway, but you know, I think the biggest thing about Brent, again, we've known each other for 30 plus years or going on to 30 plus years, but he is one thing that he's not. We really don't talk about what we talk about, but you get a lot of him on here. And that's why we started this podcast. He's a good personal coach and business coach. And again, if you kind of like, I've never heard of this guy before. He doesn't have a book. He doesn't have a radio show, his podcast, you know, whatever. Go back and watch 123 episodes. I guarantee something's going to click inside of that soul of yours that you may have been struggling with that to help you out, get over that stuff. Not a fix-it guy. He's the unveiled guy. He's the one that lifts the veil over that darkness of whatever you're struggling with to help you get to the next level. The accountability factor from this dude, it's
over the top.
Gerard, you're in trouble. Anyway, dude, little fun this morning. How are you doing, dude? What's going on? How was the week so far?
It's good. I feel absolutely amazing. I was sitting there yesterday. We were talking pre-show about the First Form energy drinks,
Yeah.
and so we were down on West 11th, and we were sitting at the light. And I look over, and there's this young Mexican gal sitting on the side of the road selling carnations, and she's not much. I would say she's older than my daughter, but she's definitely younger than 18. And she's sitting on the corner of West 11th and Bertelson selling carnations and kind of just sitting there chatting with herself. She was probably singing. She had her earbuds in. But I looked over at my wife and I said, you don't have to look very far in this world just to see how blessed we are. And I mean that truly. It's whatever your belief system is, it doesn't take much to look just a little bit beyond your nose just to see how fruitful your life is compared to others. And fruitful it is for me. The biggest accomplishment that we need to add to your introduction. Thank you for your always hype introductions. I really appreciate that. But the one thing that we need to add is I am an old guy that still rocks. I'm also an old dad. And the best fruits of my labor, the best ROI for any of my investments have been in my children and my wife. And that is my biggest blessing. I can tell you that right now, that when I'm on my deathbed, the only thing that's going to make me sad is not to spend more time with them. That's it, period.
Did you do enough, right? It's always going to be the question for the guys at standards that always are raising more and more and more. Did I do enough? Did I provide enough? Did I give them enough wisdom? Did God's wisdom come through me and not only come through me, but did I relay that? Basically what we just said in the stuff is we're giving this information to help people get better. And I know we're going to concentrate on your family portion of that right now.
Yeah.
But I think that's always a burning question. Did I do enough? In the times that I effed up, did I do enough to recover? And we've tried to not only mend it, but make it better. So that's a tough road.
Mm-hmm.
Mediocrity is prevalent right now, I think, in a lot of people, is what we're going to talk about today. Not mediocrity, but how we get through burdens.
Mm-hmm. I'll give you a little quick story. So last night, my son, I said, "Hey, did you pick up the towel off the floor in the bathroom and hang it over the tub so it doesn't mold on the floor?" I've been having to remind him a ton lately about that. He goes in there and he puts that up there, and I said, "Why didn't you shut off the light?" He goes, "Because my sister left a sock on the floor." You get where I'm going with this?
Freaking savant, dude.
I said, is this the leader that you want to become? Leaving something for somebody else to hold them accountable to it. I go, does that? We had about a 10-minute talk about this, and he just kind of looks at me like, here we go. And I just said, I'm not going to yell at you. I'm not going to scream at you. I'm not going to punish you. But I want you to ask yourself, is this the type of leader that you want to become? And I explained to him his actions. And at the end, he's like, nope. And he gave me a hug, told me that he loved me, told me I was the best dad ever. And then I left, turned his light out. But that's the accountability part, right? So it's for him, based upon our subject, how are you handling hardships? For him, his hardship was a decision that he made to hold somebody else accountable instead of himself.
Yeah, dude. Okay, so you said on Lincoln's side, and then my hardship comes, my question to you is your hardship in that is, why do I continue to press my son, my daughter, my wife? That's my hardship. I should let them enjoy life. We have a good life. You talked about that in our carnations. You don't have to look very far to realize that we have a good life.
Because we have a set of standards that we live by.
But we've also talked in past episodes, hit the easy button. That's what we always look for.
Yeah.
And we run to that safe spot so much because going through a hardship is too much. We're supposed to have this. We've been groomed to be told we're supposed to have an easy life. to go ahead and work hard and enjoy the fruits of your labor later on in life, and then, or get to a certain level. Ed Milet talks about it, the temperature gauge, right? You get to 85 and you cool back down to 70, and you never keep that temperature rise. So the hardship is not a bad thing to look at. We should actually be, and this goes back to what you and thankful for it, right? And it goes back to the conversation, what I talked with my son the other day, had a great 40-minute conversation. And I know that you get this from your kids and your wife, but when you talk to your kids and they fill you with wisdom, it is an epic conversation, an epic feeling, that the only way that it comes to us. So this is going to, I always laugh when we kind of go down this road. I just went on a hike with McCumber. I'm going to come back to what we said too, is like, got a little Jesus on this one. I'm like, yeah, and it's going to happen again, but I know that you enjoyed the episode. So McCumber, here comes some Jesus for you. Those type of conversations only come from one place, and they come from God. And sometimes Brent, me, my wife, Brent's wife, April, Lincoln, whoever, are going through hardships. And when they reveal that to you, it is to unleash the stuff that you may be struggling with. You may not see it that way, but my son's hardships at the time, right now, caused me to it hit so many triggers. Like, yep, I got to make an adjustment there. Yep, I got to make an adjustment there. Same thing with what you're doing with what you just talked about with Lincoln. Okay, Lincoln didn't pick up the sock. Have I been a good leader up to that point? Have I fallen down on my spot to it? So my hardship is I have to go back and reevaluate. I talk this big game, Gerard, and all these other customers that, these clients that you have. Has my leadership skills been up to par? So is that my hardship right now, which is a great thing. This is not a downtrodden thing. This is awesome. Have your hardships revealed to you and then run to them and fix them. So I'm super stoked about what you guys have to, what you have to say about this today. I'm jacked up about this conversation. I mean, over the last couple of days, I've been in my journal talking about this stuff, and it was been like a, kind of when you put the paddles on you, you're going to shock your heart.
Yeah.
This subject's got me there. So
not to get political or economic, but
let's do it.
A lot of people are in a hard time right now. I got the email last week about the economic numbers from a good source, not right, not left, not political, just straight up economic data. I love data. You know that I'm like a data nerd. And the data is stating that there are a number of states that are in pullback or in full-blown recession. And there are also a number of states that are growing and prospering right now. And again, this isn't a political statement, but I took the overlay of the states that are red versus blue just for data and overlaid it over the economic map. And 96%. Any guesses?
It's there, but no one wants to admit it. Yeah.
Nobody wants to talk about it. Well, we're going to talk about it. So 96% of the states that are in an economic downturn or in an economic pullback are blue states.
Yep.
And I'm not trying to say one way or another. I'm just saying that a lot of people in those states are feeling the pinch and are blaming the leadership for the hardship. And the hardship is actually purposeful. It's because and I talked about this morning in one of my coaching sessions. So you come back from World War II, you just served your country, and you're like, well, what's next? We won, right? We won the war. We should come home, we should celebrate, and we should become prosperous. And they're, okay, cool. So here's how you're going to do it. Here's your roadmap. Here's your plan. You're going to have 2.3 children. You're going to live in the suburbs. You're going to have 2 cars. Everybody's going to go to the same school in the neighborhood. Every neighborhood's going to have a school. Every neighborhood's going to have a supermarket. Every neighborhood's going to have a commerce center, all those things. You're not going to have to drive more than 15, 20 minutes to get everything in your life accomplished. And you're going to live a happy life with a beautiful wife and that you're 2.3 kids and you're one dog and one cat, and it's this perfect scenario. You're only going to have to work 40 hours a week forever, and you're going to have a great retirement, and you're going to be able to live on your retirement. You're going to be able to afford a house, and you're going to all those things. Here's your roadmap. Here's your box. Go fit it. And for 70 years, we've been doing that. And now, after COVID, probably a little bit before that, truthfully, a lot of people were kind of like that movie Dirty Dancing, because since we're old guys, right? Nobody puts baby in a corner. Well, a lot of people don't want to be put in that box, and it's not fruitful. Some of the generations below us don't find any value in being in that box. Why am I living 65 years as a slave to the system to only live 10 more and do all the things that I want to do, but I can't do physically because I just abused my body for 65 years, right? Mentally, I can't do it because I didn't eat all the right things. I ate all the things that they told me to eat in the box, and now my body won't do what it's supposed to do. 10 years ago, and I think you were even still here, and you knew him because he had attended some BNI meetings, some Chamber of Commerce meetings, things like that. Executive director of eWeb had a big anniversary party. He retired from eWeb on his 65th birthday. And he had a birthday party and an anniversary party or retirement party all at the same time. He bought a new fifth wheel. He bought a new truck. He got everything all dialed. He had everything set up to where the lawn maintenance and all the things were all taken care of while he was going to go travel the United States. The next morning, he didn't wake up. Died of a massive heart attack, 65 years old. These stories, we hear them all the time. And these people in these younger generations are like, why am I working so hard? I want to just work a little bit here and a little bit there and take these trips and do these things. Their hardship is in the fact that they don't want to live and work just to live and work. And now the whole economy is set up and based on all of us worker bees working until we're 65 and fitting in the box and doing all the things. Well, it's not there. We've become a consumer-based economy, meaning we have to buy our goods from everywhere else, right? And nobody wants those goods anymore. They all want the easy button, the cheap Amazon stuff and all those things. And we have an administration who's saying, we need to fix this. We need to go back a little bit. This isn't working for our current constituency. We need to go back a little bit and reset. All sounds good, looks good on paper, but here we are. And here we are is in the reset. People are struggling financially. People are struggling mentally and emotionally, even spiritually. There's a spiritual awakening that happened about a month ago. And we're seeing at our church more people every week come back to church or come to church that have never come or that have left a long time ago. And that's tough. When I see them at church and they're crying because they are struggling with the way the world is, they're going through a hardship. And they're trying to seek guidance in any way that they can. Likely, some of those, haven't talked to all of them, are struggling financially. I talked to the construction group at church last Sunday, and most of them don't have any work on the books for the first of the year, for the first time in like 10 years. One guy said he's out of work at the end of this week and doesn't have any estimates that anybody's even going to rubber stamp and that he can work on. And he's got a big crew.
All of that was so good. And there's such an underlying tone to, you talked about the last 70 years, and when we come to him, this is not a right left thing. This is an American thing.
The American dream.
Our administration, our government was never meant to be that we put dependency on them. Our government, our administration was never, ever set up to be a career. Come in, do what you need to do to supply society, 2-3 years, maybe get in, get out. That's why they have these elections every so year. You were not meant to stay in this and make this a lifetime gig.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So these hardships too is, and now we're having these, and people are searching for different things. Sometimes, unfortunately, they search for the hardships come up, they search for something to relieve the pain. So what do they go down to? Alcohol, drugs, porn, infidelity in marriages, trying to find
running
to them,
hiking,
and so
motorcycle rides, pick something,
anything, right? And so you see this resurgence back because of Charlie Kirk. There was a little bit of revival going on. Actually, it's a big revival. I mean, you have a lot of people that celebrated that. And people are like, why are you celebrating this guy? It's not celebrating this guy. It's celebrating is that everything that we've been following for so long, for 70 plus years, probably longer than that, has led to us to become dependent on something that doesn't give back to us. You're working 65 years, okay? We shouldn't have to, in essence, work that long. Giving up 50 to 60% of every dollar we make to go give away to some other country so we can stay in war. Yeah, I'm political right now. It's bullshit. At the end of the day, it's horrible. We should be giving back to our community, but that's not where I'm going to. The point of us going back to churches, like everything that we've been searching or running to, is not fixing the issue. So now I think, and maybe some of you guys that listen to this will think, is our only hope is the person that created us. And maybe he's making all of this happen, which is a hardship for all of us. There's times that we're struggling financially. There's times that Brent's struggling financially. We're all in that boat, regardless of what it looks like.
Self-inflicted wounds for most of us, right?
For most of us.
Yeah.
But when you start chasing something that's not going to fill that void, and start chasing something that has been a promise to us from the beginning of time. So run to the hardship, believe if you want to. I'm going to believe that way. Believe if you want to, that the only person that's going to fix this is God. You can try all the different ways. You can read the self-help books and stuff. It's going to take some action on your part. It's going to be a hardship.
We've said this many times. No person is coming to save you. You have to wrap your head around the fact that hardship and being uncomfortable is the only place where growth will happen. It's been pervaded on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, YouTube, all those things. Everybody says it. Well, what's that look like? What's the first thing that comes to your head when your car breaks down? You haven't done it in a few years, but you used to have that problem on a regular basis with the old vigor. Yeah. When you're sitting on the side of the road, won't start, what's the first thing that comes to your head?
God, I wish you'd just give me a break.
Yeah.
Just give me a break. What else do I have to do?
Was it the vigor's fault?
No, it's running from one problem to, it's running from a problem to escape a problem, to escape a problem, to escape a problem.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about it before. I stopped drinking alcohol because my son called me out. I mean, he was 1 year old. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't tell you that I used it as escapism, but I was stuck in that path of, it's Friday. I've worked hard. I deserve it. I deserve a cold beer at the end of the day. Sadly, my problem is I just like the taste of beer. So it just compounded the compounding issue.
Right. I'm going to do, Macumber and I are going to do a 72-hour fast starting on the 19th. And someone's like, why are you going to do it? And I said, because there's stuff in me that I don't want in me anymore. Yeah. And that's the purpose behind a fast. And a lot of people look at fast like, oh, this is some fad. But if you actually read about it, it's biblical. It's biblical for sure.
Scientific.
But it purges the bad stuff out of your body. So it takes out the hardships that are detrimental to you health-wise. If you just want to go ahead and be scientific, the hardship is you have cells in your body that are dead that cause disease. And so when you do this 72-hour fast, which is biblical for 3 days or 7 days or 21 days, depending on what scripture you're reading, but let's just stick with the 72 hours and read about it. And that your body actually regenerates not only new cells, but almost a new you.
Yeah.
Have you done a 72-hour fast? It's not fun. It's
24 to 26 is about as far as I've gone.
Yeah.
it gets easier at that. I don't
Yeah.
know why I didn't keep going, quite frankly, because I was like, again, back to hardship. I probably just justified it in my mind,
Mm-hmm.
right? I just did 24 or 26 hours. I'm
Mm-hmm.
good. Well, was I good? At that point, if it's easier, why did I stop?
Did you do
Well,
what? Go back to the power of one more. Did you do one more 24 hours? No. Or did
no,
you
I
miss out
didn't.
on that? What example were you setting
Correct.
for everybody on that? What example for yourself, regardless anybody else of how they're looking at you? What example did you set yourself? Well, I did 24. I did 48.
Mm-hmm.
So I have done 72 hours before. I learned a lot. I learned that nutrition going into it is massively important. To
Mm-hmm.
not eat 2 pieces of pizza on some ice cream and then kill it with a IPA and then start a 72-hour fast. Guess what? It is a rough 36 hours. Because
That was a hardship,
that was a hardship.
self-inflicted.
So going into this one, we started just a couple days, really Sunday, really building up my nutrition, eating really well, taking, power greens and power reds and vitamins and all that stuff. It's still not going to be easy, but the point of it's not about losing weight. It's about getting rid of long, again, old cells, regenerating new. So it's going to be a hard 72 hours. It's not easy. Drinking water, some element electrolytes with 0 calories, just in case you guys want to know. I'll probably do that twice a day, but really just water for 72 hours.
Yep.
And then one thing that I also didn't do, which is also going to be an extra hardship on there, is working out. I just try to stay low, just work and not take anything to it. But realistically, if I know now that I'm burning old cells, well, why don't you just you don't have to do a super hard workout, but at least do a workout of either walking or weight training and expedite more purging of extra bad cells in there. I'm using it as an example for a hardship. Brent's using this as an example as hardship too. Is so when you hear hardship, the first thing is like, God, I don't want it hard. I want easy.
Right.
Well,
I don't want to be uncomfortable.
How are you going to get better if you don't have any hardships for this? What are you going to learn from? So what happens when something does happen to you and you say, well, okay, here's the rest stop on this road. I'm going to pull over here and I'm going to let all the bad stuff just pass me by and then I'll get behind it because that'll make it easier instead of staying out in front of the hardship and not taking the rest stop and maybe hit a couple potholes or maybe hitting a whatever that you're going to come across. Just go to it and have faith. Sooner or later, I hope that you guys, if those of you don't have it or don't have that relationship with God, is understanding that He's going to pick you up. He's not going to let you fail if you have faith in Him.
Yeah.
It's not a preaching moment. I'm just telling you from experiences from some dude that should not be here right now for the decisions I made in the past. I shouldn't be here. Trust me. And we've gone into it a couple times and kind of glossed over the top of it, but I made a lot of bad decisions not so long ago that really should have cost my life. And by the grace of God, I am here and I am here to share stories. There's not a story that you can tell me that I can't relate to. Well, there's a couple, but I've licked the gutter. I've lived in a 100 square foot box, in essence. It was in a house, but it was 100 square feet. So
it was a walk-in closet.
It was a walk-in closet. For the most part, that's what it was in a piss-stained mattress, right? I mean, so it's not to say that, oh, here I am. And I go back, when you talked about the carnations thing, on paper, visually maybe, and I get scared about what social media portrays me as sometimes, I have a good life. I do have a good life. It's not an easy life. And right now, I'm in it. I am in it. There's a lot of things that I'd rather be in than in this moment right now. However, I know this hardship, I'm going to get through it because I know that He will protect me. He's going to allow some things to get hurt, but He will protect me to get me through to the other side. And He'll protect my family. And He will protect my friends and He will protect my kids, all of that. But going through this is going to make me a better person. And I'm going to be able to share this story and potentially, maybe, if their life is so bad and they don't have that faith, save their life. And that's what I'm on. That's why we do this podcast, and that's why I'm on this earth.
Yeah, I mean, back to just a straight up podcast. Like, people ask me all the time, why do we do this? We don't get paid. We don't get anything out of it. It costs us money, costs us time, which is the ultimate thing that we'll never get back. And for what? We don't get any accolades. We don't get any attaboys. We don't get much. In fact, we get criticism, quite frankly, but a lot of people don't see criticism as a benefit. The amount of growth that has happened straight out of this podcast for you and for me, based upon that criticism and being uncomfortable and having that hardship. I mean, show up here, talk for an hour, spend 2 hours editing it, you do.
Yep.
And then post something and promote it. And people are like, yeah, you guys were kind of salty and you don't seem like you're in a good mood, and you seem like you know everything, and you're pissed off at the world. Probably all items are true on any given day, but no different than the buffalo. We've talked about that story before. Anytime a buffalo senses a storm, they don't turn away from it and walk away from the storm. They turn into the storm and they embrace it. Because on the other side of their walk is no storm. There's a storm's coming at them. If they turn away from it and walk away from it, the storm's always going to come towards them. And they're going to be in the storm longer. So the tool, the key, the cheat code, if you will, is whenever there's a hardship, whenever there's a storm, turn into the storm, embrace the hardship, put it on your to-do list, put it on your non-negotiables list, put it on your power list, manifest it. Manifest it as if it's already over. I was reading something the other day, and I gave this advice to my son last night. Stop praying and asking God to change things. Start praying as if God has already changed them, and thank Him for it. We've talked about manifestation here a lot, and that is the one thing that I'm going to start doing, is manifesting as if it's done. Not manifesting for things I want to happen. It's manifesting them as if they're already accomplished.
I add that something to that, because I think that's a really good idea. And I don't know if you do this or not, but we started this at the beginning of the year when we're pursuing our goal, and how God allows that to happen or tells us we're not ready yet, whatever it is we're going to keep pursuing it, and we're going to keep pursuing it. Yeah, keep pursuing it, right? So just what are we doing it for? Why are we doing it? So on and so forth. The one thing that I really enjoy doing, some days are fun, some days are dumb, but journaling is a massive, there's times that I go back and read it, and there's times I'm just getting my thoughts out. Why am I in this situation? What did I do? Maybe there's something that triggers from it. Maybe it doesn't make sense for a couple whiles, and all of a sudden, maybe it's a day, or maybe it's a week, maybe it's 2 months, whatever. It clicks. I'm like, okay, that's why I'm here. But I think the important part that I always think about this journal, someday when I go see Jesus, depending on how many, I'm on my second tablet of journals, and they go for about 3 months. Well, actually more than that. It probably goes about 6 months. Doesn't matter. Anyway, the point of it is someone's going to go back and read that and like, oh my God, I remember that time with Blair, or that's what he was going through at this time, or doing different things. Sometimes the journal is 0% coherent because they're just random thoughts, but I gotta get them out of my head. It's like it's like our evening walks, and I start my day with that. And I really talk about the day, what happened before, and the things I learned about it, or the things that I'm super frustrated about, the things that I'm struggling with, and the things that, whatever. So, but you said, so if you guys are having a hard time and you just feel like I'd strongly suggest you start journaling and also meditating. But what Brent said too about manifesting, I think that helps you proceed like proceed like the buffalo. When the storm is happening and you're going to be in them and they don't go away, and you're like, this time I'm not going to pull over to the rest stop. I see that storm. I see that 50-foot wave. I'm taking my boat, I'm taking my car, I'm taking myself, and I'm going straight for it. Because why? Because I know I've manifested and I'm going to go through that and I'm going to get through the other side.
Well, I warned you at the beginning of the year. You put audacious goals up, you're going to get challenged in an audacious way.
Dude, I've gotten my ass kicked. I'll just flat out say it. But we're moving forward, man. And some other things are happening. And there's peaks and valleys to this. So yeah, the championship may happen this year.
Yeah. But you turn into the storm, you sit in the stuff, and you embrace it.
Yeah.
Because it's where you're supposed to be right now.
And another thing I've learned all through this too, is just speaking of what this does. So my hardship is we're going to do the best we can. We may be at the same part as we are to, we may be at the same spot that we ended up at last year. We may be a little bit better. There's some things brewing that possibly happen. What I have learned this year, which is super hard, and my hardship on this part is my competitiveness. Instead of talking ish about somebody else that I know that I'm better at, when I see them win, great job, dude. You freaking made it, man. That's awesome. Instead of, oh, dude, you got totally lucky, blah, blah, blah.
See, what ends up happening with most people,
business.
What ends up happening with most people is they say that outward, but inward, they're still feeling those feelings of they don't deserve it, blah, blah, blah. And you can't have both feelings. There's no benefit. Yeah, exactly. Yep, exactly. You're serving two masters. I mean, it talks about it in the Bible. You can't serve God and mammon at the same time. And in this instance, mammon is not money. Mammon is pride. Mammon is ego. And then you just created another hardship for yourself.
Oh, yeah. And that's why, it's just so funny. So so whatever your hardship is, you guys, or you're watching this or you're listening to this, your life was meant to create hardships, but your life was also to like, how are you going to solve the hardship? There's not an easy button. Life is not meant to be easy. When you come into this world as a little baby coming out of your mom, you don't remember it, but it wasn't fun.
You're just in this nice, warm, cozy spot for 9 months, and then you got ripped out into this cold, cruel world.
And then spanked so you can go ahead and cry, right? I'm sure that's going to ruffle somebody's feathers. Why do they spank somebody?
It's a movie thing.
I know, right? So it's just those things that embrace the hardship, enjoy it. It's not fun. And so it's not to put a rose-colored glasses on it. You're going to have it, but how are you handling it? One of the things that you can handle is share your hardships with somebody. This is what I'm going through.
However, I have a friend who I have stepped away from and stepped back from. We're still friends, but I just don't engage outwardly as much. Back to your competitive nature. I have a friend that every time I talk to him, he starts telling me, woe is him. And then if I tell him what's going on with me, he has to one-up me. Well, my life's crappier because. And it's a competition to see who's had the hardest week or the hardest day or the biggest challenges. So when you're sharing your challenges, don't compete to see who has the crappier life. Don't compete to see if you can one-up somebody on their hardship. Don't try to solve their problem either without permission. That is what men have a hard time with. With the women in our life. What does McCumber say?
How can I help you? Can I help you? Or do you want me to hear you? Or do you want me to hug you?
Yeah. Nowhere in there does it say solve the problem.
Right.
Nowhere in there does it say compete for the crappiest situation of the week.
You know what I've learned about that, dude? Is that even though there's a common thread to that situation and you're trying to potentially associate with their pain. As we've always said, we're made different, and that pain's not the same. The ish that Lincoln goes through, or you go through, or April goes through, or Chrissy goes through, or I go through, or my son goes through, or my friends go through. You're never, and I love that you said that when you try to compete with it, and I think the McCumbers was really good too, but you're never going to totally understand their pain. Shelley Gordon, who was on here, one of our top 5 ever conversations that we've had on here, and we'll get that back out here. She's close, dude. She's been secretly sharing that episode with her friends, and the
Good.
point of it is that the point that I want to use on that one is, even though that I'm going through what she's going through, you've gone through what I said, we will never fully understand her pain.
Nor could we. Or could we? Because it's her challenge. It's her opportunity.
Someone loses a job. We've lost a job. We don't know the ripple effects of losing that job. Someone loses a loved one. We may associate their pain with that, but it's going to be a different pain for them. So I think what Brent said is great. Is just, it goes back to Macomber as well, really, is just sit there and listen to them, understand, and really say, I can't fathom how you feel, but if can I hear you? Do you want me to hear you? Do you want me to hug you? Do you want me to help you? And really sit back and let that. They may not want you to do anything. They may just want to just talk to you. So
yeah,
I just think that's, I think that's a big thing. Actually, I know it's a big thing, right, George? You started this episode out for. There's a lot of hardships right now, financially, relationships wise, politically. Run to it. Take people with you. Power in numbers. Don't internalize it, which a lot of us want to do. I think there is a lot. It's been so much in our face over the last, I actually like what you said earlier, 70 years, is that we just get to a point and say, screw it, and just not pay attention to it anymore. And that's not solving anything. Embrace a hardship.
Embrace these people as well.
Embrace them. Come together, and knowing that you're not the only one go through that. But you have been put in this hardship for a certain situation, and you, as we always said, there's enough room at the top to be a leader. And what your hardship is grooming you to be a leader in that situation. So how you handle it. Do you take the rest stop, or do you take the boat and drive through that 60-foot wave, or be the buffalo to run through that storm to get to the other side? And we're hoping that this episode is going to have you be that buffalo and run through that storm and show us, when we get to that spot in our life, that dude or that chick made it through because they did this, this, and this, and this, and they had faith to do it.
I'm going to paraphrase a Bible verse. There's a reason for every season. It goes deeper than that in the Bible verse, but I'm just going to paraphrase it. Look it up. There's a reason for every season. And if you're in a season right now, we'd love to hear about it. Again, we can offer the 3 that Macomber gave us, the 3 tools, or we can actually talk through it and walk through it with you and try and help you solve it if that's where you're at.
I thought you had more profound thoughts there.
No more profound. I just want to offer help and assistance and guidance if that's what you want to look for, or whatever it is. Even if you just want to talk about it and just get some resonance on it. You need to be able to, sometimes just simply talking to somebody can make a difference. And that's what we're here to do. It's just make a damn difference.
You say this a lot in so many different ways. When is enough going to be enough that what you're doing is not working? And we all have that question on ourselves. So it's not just one single person. It's everybody. Everybody has that something in them, whatever it may be. When is enough going to be enough that what you're doing needs to try something different? Our hope, what Brent just said, is that you reach out to us and get a different perspective. And if we're not the person, find somebody else to do that. And if they're not the person,
keep going.
Keep going. Our suggestion is really open the Bible, read it. I'm not saying you have to go to church. I'm not saying you have to believe it. There's a lot of wisdom in the Bible. Largest selling book in the world.
We're in our Bible study. We're going through the Old Testament, Joshua, right now.
Yeah.
That is the most violent book I've read in 20 years. The book of Joshua is crazy.
No, you have the Peters, the Pauls, Jesus, Moses, the trials and tribulations they had. They kept going.
You think you're having a hard day? Read Job. Read the first few chapters. I think I am living a best life compared to Job, dude. I don't even know.
Yeah, it's bad. So it's not bad. There's wisdom in there. It's so much wisdom in there that no matter what walk of life you have, if you go in there and apply it to what's going on in your life right now, it will make sense. I'm not saying you have to believe, but it's a book of wisdom.
Yeah.
That comes from one source. Take it for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, final words for you.
Reach out, seek out, and turn into the storm.
Yeah.
And we're here for you if you need us. And just do everything you can to make a damn difference. I've said it before. When you're having a hard day, do everything you can to make somebody else's day better, and I promise you it'll affect you in a positive.
I'm just going to say this. Thank you guys for following us. We appreciate you. We know that you could be better, so I challenge you to share the show at least 5 people. We really need it. I think there's a lot of good stuff in here. We're all going through hardships. Everyone is in a suck right now, one way or another. Brent said it was really good. Go out and make one person's life better, and your life will become better too. But that's it, man. Besides, give a little plug. If you like energy drinks, go to 7-Eleven today.
Mm-hmm.
Get yourself some Form Energy. They're only $1, and then go tackle the storm. But realistically, Brent always says that go make a damn difference. Be the seek you change. There's a lot of wisdom in that guy.
Be the change you seek.
Be the change you seek.
There you go.
But until we see each other next week, stay safe. But most of all, God bless, guys. Have a great one.